Today we're being told tourists and National Trust rangers saw the legendary fin disappear into a magical doorway within the rock face here at the Giant's Causeway.
Many mysterious and unexplained phenomena are happening around the world, almost too strange to believe. And when you have a drone that can capture every moment while keeping you completely safe. So what secrets lie hidden beneath the forest canopy that only a drone can uncover? Today, let's take a look at the 20 creepiest photos ever accidentally captured while flying over forests. Let's get started. This footage from Farmington Canyon, Utah, shows a calm aerial view of green treetops. The drone operator didn't notice anything unusual, but later, reviewing the video, they saw a strange, fast-moving object. At first, it looked like leaves blown by wind, but it was solid and shaped like a rock. The rock seemed deliberately thrown at the drone, which flew high above. How was it launched so forcefully? And from where? The thick canopy hides any clues on the ground. If this sounds strange, the story is about to get even more surprising. Three friends entered the jungle to test their new drone and film tropical animals. While flying it over the dense foliage, they spotted a strange man partly hiding his face, likely from a local tribe. He stood still, watching the drone, then left a black bag on the ground and walked away. One friend went to check the bag, but fell into a hidden pit trap. The others saw this on the drone and quickly rescued him. Realizing the man had set the trap and could be dangerous, they stopped their adventure and returned to safety. This story warns that exploring remote areas with drones can still bring real risks when curiosity breaks caution. How do you feel about using drones in remote or sensitive areas where danger may be hidden? Comment and chat with me. Next, we will explore a bridge that seems to defy all logic. Deep in the Brazilian jungle stands the Viaduct Petrobras, an unusual structure that curves in a semicircular arc and ends abruptly. Unlike typical viaducts that bridge rivers or valleys, this one seems to lead nowhere, surrounded by thick forest. Its design serves a specific purpose. It carries Petrobras pipelines over a railway line, without needing roads on either side. Built by Brazil's state oil company, it allows the pipeline to cross safely and efficiently. Though puzzling at first, the viaduct is a key part of local infrastructure and a familiar landmark to residents. Drone footage highlights its striking contrast. A concrete and steel bridge, seemingly disconnected from the jungle around it. Many drone operators initially mistook it for an abandoned or unfinished project. The viaduct has sparked internet mysteries and conspiracy theories, including secret government use. In reality, it is an impressive example of engineering, showing how infrastructure can take unusual shapes to meet industrial demands in remote environments. Construction workers at the Kern School complex in Zurich found traces of a Celtic woman gently placed within a hollowed tree trunk, dating back about 2,200 years to the Iron Age. She was dressed in a woolen dress, shawl, and sheepskin coat, indicating a comfortable lifestyle. The discovery showed she enjoyed sweets, a special treat at the time. The unique tree resting place adds intrigue and suggests she may have held an important role, such as a spiritual guide or healer. The site was exceptionally well preserved, with natural materials enduring through many years. Drone footage used to survey the area revealed subtle patterns not visible from the ground, leading to this significant discovery. Her wooden resting place offers a rare window into Celtic customs and social roles that continue to be explored. Did you like this video? Don't forget to hit the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out, and I promise to bring you more awesome content. 3 monster hunters received a distress call from a man living near a dense forest. He reported a strange monkey-like creature with black fur stealing his chickens at night. Worried and desperate, the man asked the hunters for help. The hunters set a plan. They scattered food in the forest to lure the creature and used a drone for surveillance. After 30 minutes, the drone spotted the creature, just as described. More creatures appeared, all eerie and similar. They quickly took the food and disappeared into the forest. What shocked the hunters was the creature's organized behavior. They acted with coordination and purpose, showing signs of intelligence and social structure. Their efficient food gathering suggested they were learning from human habits. The chicken thefts continued, but now the creatures left strange markings near the coop. These symbols, possibly territorial warnings, remain a mystery. The hunters documented them, but have yet to understand their meaning. Japan, a tech-driven country, uses drones, not just for surveillance, but to catch rogue drones. Police deploy special drones with nets to capture unauthorized drones in sensitive areas. This helps prevent security breaches and enforces strict drone laws. Japanese drone regulations are tight, especially near government sites, showing their focus on security and privacy. This situation highlights the ongoing challenge between advancing drone technology and law enforcement's efforts to control misuse. This 2015 video captures Northern Ireland's rugged beauty, focusing on the iconic Giant's Causeway. Known for its striking basalt columns stretching into the sea, the causeway has long inspired awe and legend. During the visit, the camera recorded something extraordinary. A large rock formation seemed to move, closing like a hidden door. The motion was deliberate, as if something or someone was hiding. The scene is startling because moving such massive stones would require immense strength, ruling out ordinary explanations. It happened just as a visitor filmed, deepening the mystery. This aligns closely with local legends of the giant Finn McCool, said to have built the causeway as a bridge to Scotland. The area is filled with stories of giants who shaped the landscape. Could these myths be more than stories? Maybe ancient beings still dwell in the mountains, occasionally revealing themselves in strange ways. The moving rock hints at something powerful and unexplained beneath the surface. Fly Geyser in Nevada is a unique mix of human activity and nature. In 1916, a well drilled for irrigation near Gerlach hit near boiling geothermal water, making the well useless for farming. Over time, minerals like calcium carbonate built up around the well, forming a 10 to 12 foot tall structure that looks like a geyser. Later, a geothermal company drilled a second well nearby, but the water wasn't hot enough for energy use. Still, geothermal activity continued. Today, Fly Geyser sprays water at around 200 degrees Fahrenheit, creating a stunning but dangerously hot natural display. Drone footage captured the geyser at one of its most active moments, showing steam and mineral deposits forming an alien-like landscape in the Nevada desert. Fly Geyser shows how human actions can intersect with nature to create unexpected and fascinating wonders. This drone footage from Berkeley Castle in Gloucestershire, England, was meant to capture the castle's historic grandeur. The 11th century castle's ancient architecture made a perfect subject for a peaceful flight. But on reviewing the video, the drone pilot spotted something astonishing. A ghostly rider on horseback gliding across the grounds. Berkeley Castle is linked to a dark part of history. King Edward II was brutally killed there in 1327. His tragic death, full of treachery, has haunted the site ever since. The apparition might be his restless spirit, bound forever to the place where he died. The castle's ancient stones are steeped in mystery and rumored hauntings. This clear footage of the spectral rider adds to Berkeley Castle's eerie reputation, showing how history's shadows can linger long after events fade. The drone pilot was unaware of the castle's dark past when filming, yet the figure moves purposefully, as if following ancient paths. Near Picton, about 50 miles southwest of Sydney, the Picton Tunnel is known for its paranormal activity. This historic tunnel, nearly 590 feet long, connects Picton Junction with Thirlmere, and opened in February 1867. Its dark history adds to its eerie reputation. During World War II, it was used to store ammunition, tanks, mustard gas, and supplies, adding to its mysterious atmosphere. The tunnel has also been associated with several tragic incidents, contributing to its somber reputation. The most famous haunting is that of Emily Bullard, who died in 1916 after being struck by a train. Her ghost is said to roam the tunnel, with many reporting sightings of a ghostly figure and strange lights or shadows inside. These stories attract ghost hunters and paranormal fans. The tunnel's past and strange events make it one of the region's most haunted spots. Drone footage shows unexplained lights moving through the tunnel when no trains were running, and a white figure moving against the air currents. Two friends, passionate about discovering mystical creatures, went to a nearby town after locals reported strange screams at night. For a month, eerie cries echoed from a group of abandoned barns. These sounds were unlike any animal the locals knew. Determined to find the source, the friends used a drone to explore safely. Flying over the rundown barns, they found nothing at first, and their excitement faded. Then, unexpectedly, the drone captured a pale, almost white-skinned creature near one barn. It looked somewhat human, but had alien, unnatural features. Curious and scared, they moved the drone closer. The creature noticed and began searching for the source of the disturbance. Its eyes locked onto their car. Then it suddenly disappeared, only to reappear right in front of it. However, the video was later revealed to be an elaborate hoax. Still, the strange screams that disturbed the locals remain unexplained. Have you ever captured a strange or unexplained moment on your drone? Share your story below. The Chernobyl exclusion zone, created after the nuclear disaster in April 1986, remains one of the most radioactive places on Earth. The explosion at reactor number 4 released huge amounts of radioactive material, making the area unsafe for humans. Permanent settlement is banned. One famous remnant is the abandoned amusement park, with its frozen roller coaster. The park was set to open just weeks after the disaster, but never did. Despite restrictions, urban explorers and dark tourism enthusiasts visit the zone, capturing haunting images of the empty town. Surprisingly, without human activity, wildlife has returned and flourished. Animals repopulate the area, showing nature's resilience after this environmental tragedy. Drone footage reveals eerie abandonment and strange phenomena. Locals and researchers report unexplained lights, moving shadows, and figures where no people should be. Though radiation cleared humans, something unexplained remains. A group of travelers in Brazil spotted something extraordinary on a distant hill. Two giant beings over 10 feet tall. Their skin was pale and glowing in the sun, with elongated heads and unusually long arms, creating a strange alien silhouette against the hills. The tourists recorded the scene and reported it to local authorities. After reviewing the footage, the police were alarmed and closed the area for a thorough search. Despite searching, they found no trace of the beings. Brazil has a history of unexplained sightings, with vast wilderness hiding unknown phenomena. The police's serious response shows this sighting wasn't taken lightly. The creatures moved deliberately, with size and features unlike any known local primates, adding to the mystery. Cannock Chase in Staffordshire, England, is popular for mountain biking and hiking, but also carries a mysterious reputation. Enthusiasts of unexplained phenomena are drawn to its unusual stories, especially those about the so-called black-eyed children, ethereal young figures with dark, hollow eyes, believed to be restless spirits from the late 1960s. Recent drone footage from Cannock Chase adds to these intriguing accounts. Though slightly unclear, it shows a faint figure, likely a young girl in white, partially hidden among the trees. The figure appears to follow the drone's movement, gliding smoothly between trees. In some shots, her eyes look like dark voids that seem to draw in light rather than reflect it. Cannock Chase has many unusual reports: shadowy black dogs, wolves, mysterious apparitions, and even unexplained aerial phenomena. While concrete proof is limited, these stories contribute to its reputation as a center for unexplained activity. This footage adds a new layer to the area's intriguing tales, underlining why it remains linked to black-eyed children sightings across decades. A group of explorers ventured into a remote forest area, generally closed to visitors, guided by curiosity despite natural hazards. To observe safely and discreetly, they used a drone to survey the pristine landscape of towering trees, lakes, and rugged terrain. Near a quiet lake, the drone captured an unusual pale creature resting by the water. As they approached, they observed it using a simple fishing tool. The being resembled a large, light-colored primate with an ethereal appearance and distinctive features. Its actions seemed remarkably intelligent, prompting thoughts it might be a Yeti, an elusive legendary figure said to inhabit remote mountainous regions. This sparked questions about whether it was an unknown species or evidence of folklore. The area's restrictions might serve to protect the forest's mysteries as much as the visitors. Sightings like this hint at hidden wonders in nature. The creature's use of tools suggests a level of awareness beyond typical wildlife, deepening the fascination around this secluded forest. If you've traveled across the United States or flown a drone over remote areas, you might have seen large white arrows on the ground. These symbols, visible from high above or on satellite images, have an interesting history in aviation. Before GPS and radios, pilots needed reliable navigation aids. After World War I, the U.S. Postal Service used military planes to deliver mail and created a system of massive yellow arrows every 10 miles along airmail routes. These arrows, built in 1924, were paired with tall towers that had rotating lights visible up to 10 miles away. They helped pilots navigate in the early days of flight. With radio navigation improving, these visual markers became obsolete by World War II and were gradually abandoned. Many arrows faded into obscurity, hidden in remote areas. Drone footage now reveals these historic markers in detail. Some arrows are well preserved, while others are slowly overtaken by nature. They offer a glimpse into early aviation history and show how technology evolves, turning past solutions into modern mysteries. Don't miss out on future unexpected adventures. Subscribe now and join the hunt for the world's hidden secrets. In northern Italy's Piedmont region, a giant stuffed pink bunny named Haas once stood over 200 feet long and nearly 20 feet tall. Created by the artist group Gelatin, Haas was a fluffy, oversized art piece meant to enhance hikers' experience in the mountains. Its large, soft belly served as a resting spot, adding a playful touch to the journey. Haas was designed to naturally decompose by 2025, blending back into the landscape. By 2016, signs of decay appeared, with its bright fabric fading and wearing away. Despite this, Haas remains a memorable example of art interacting with nature. Drone footage shows Haas's massive pink form as almost alien against the mountain backdrop. From above, its true size is clear, dwarfing hikers on sight. The bright pink contrasts with the earth tones, creating a surreal image that some drone operators initially found mysterious. Time-lapse drone footage captures Haas's slow return to nature. Weather, wildlife, and plants gradually transform the structure, making it look like the remains of a giant creature. This unintentional mystery adds depth to what began as a playful art installation. Near Boise, Idaho, footage captured a large bird soaring in the sky. As the camera angle changed, the bird appeared to resemble a pterodactyl, a flying reptile extinct for millions of years. The video went viral, sparking excitement about the possible survival of an ancient creature. Scientists quickly dismissed this, noting pterodactyls went extinct about 66 million years ago. They believe the filmed creature is likely an unidentified or rare bird species. What makes the footage striking is the creature's unusual flight pattern and wing structure. Its wingspan looks unusually large, and its movement differs from known birds in the area. Some cryptozoologists suggest it could be an unknown species or a survivor of an extinct group, though not a real pterodactyl. This footage highlights the clash between scientific skepticism and the human hope for hidden mysteries. Whether it is a misidentified bird or something unusual, it reminds us that we don't know everything about the natural world. Residents near a historic burial ground began hearing strange noises at night, disturbing their peace and sleep. To investigate, they sent a drone over the cemetery after dark. The drone's light revealed an eerie scene. A ghostly figure appeared between old headstones. Startled by the light, the apparition quickly vanished into the night. This footage is striking because the figure looks solid, casting shadows and interacting with its surroundings in ways camera tricks can't explain. The timing matches the residents' reports of nighttime sounds, linking the noises to the ghostly presence. Local historians found that some buried here died under mysterious or tragic conditions, possibly causing restless spirits. The footage attracted both paranormal researchers and skeptics, sparking debate about spirits and supernatural activity tied to emotional events. Since then, the cemetery has drawn ghost hunters, though no later drone footage has recorded anything as clear or dramatic as this first sighting. One UFO spotted in the middle of nowhere in Romania. A UFO enthusiast shared a photo of a mysterious object spotted in a remote Romanian forest. The image shows a metallic disc-shaped structure partially hidden by trees, resembling a classic flying saucer. Its smooth surface reflects light, and it seems to hover or rest just above the forest floor. Skeptics suggest it might be a water tank or industrial object, noting that a UFO in such an open area would likely be noticed by aircraft or satellites. Despite this, the remote location far from cities makes the object's presence unusual. The photographer, Anonymous, captured the image during a drone survey. The object appears roughly 30 feet wide, with no visible wings, engines, or landing gear, implying it could be a genuine aircraft or something else entirely. Authorities have been informed but have not announced any investigation. The location is kept secret to protect the forest, which only adds to the mystery and speculation around the object's origin. We've explored 20 of the most mysterious drone discoveries over forests worldwide. From ancient legends at the Giant's Causeway to modern puzzles like the Romanian UFO, these images show that despite advances, many secrets remain. What makes these captures special is their accidental nature. The drone operators weren't searching for mysteries, just exploring or testing gear. This spontaneity adds authenticity and makes us wonder what else is out there. Many remain unexplained, challenging what we think is possible today. Drone technology now lets us reach remote, risky places, opening doors to even more surprises ahead. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share your own unexplained drone stories below. You might appear in our next countdown. Also, check out the video on your screen about the most mysterious forest sounds worldwide. It's a perfect companion to today's visual mysteries. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious. In the depths of Siberia, a local woman found something alive and strange. Is this proof of alien life, or another mystery linked to the infamous 1908 Tunguska event? What did the camera really capture in this remote wilderness? The shocking footage is stirring global debate. Are you ready to uncover the truth? In the remote Amur region of Siberia, a man walking his dog reportedly found a 3-foot creature with dark gray skin, no hair, and unusual facial features. This area is near the site of the 1908 Tunguska event, a massive explosion that flattened over 2,000 square kilometers of forest. Some researchers speculate that the event could have involved an extraterrestrial spacecraft rather than a natural disaster. The creature's body appeared well preserved in the cold, possibly for over 100 years. After the discovery, the body was reportedly taken by officials for scientific study, but no photos, DNA results, or reports have been publicly shared, leading to questions about the discovery. Russian archaeologists on the Yukok Plateau uncovered the Ice Maiden, a woman from the 5th century BC, remarkably preserved in ice and stone. She belonged to the Pazyryk culture, a nomadic people from over 2,000 years ago. Her body, adorned with intricate tattoos of mythical creatures, was so well preserved that experts could examine her internal features, last meal, and health conditions, including signs consistent with breast illness. Local indigenous communities honor her as a protective spirit and caution that relocating her might lead to unfortunate events. Since her transfer to a museum in 2012, the Altai region has experienced unusual natural occurrences, which some locals feel may be linked to the Ice Maiden's relocation. What emotions did the story of the Siberian Ice Maiden awaken in you? Does she feel like a guardian from the past, or a mystery we should leave undisturbed? Comment and chat with me. But just when you think the past is settled, a modern-day mystery in Moscow will challenge everything you believe about time itself. In 2019, a video from a busy Moscow street showed a woman frozen mid-stride for a full minute while everything else moved normally. Her arms hung unnaturally, and her ponytail appeared to defy gravity. People and cars passed without noticing. Then she suddenly resumed walking as if nothing had happened. The video went viral with over 5 million views, sparking various theories, including time manipulation or extraterrestrial explanations. Skeptics suggested it was a video edit, but detailed analysis found no signs of manipulation. In May 2019, a photographer captured clear images of unusual objects moving across the full moon in Moscow. At first, there were 3 black circles, then more appeared in a loose formation. Some experts estimated these objects could be 2 to 3 miles in diameter if they were orbiting the moon, much larger than any known human-made structure in space. Their erratic movements, coming close to the moon's surface and pulling back, did not match typical satellite behavior. The footage, taken with professional astronomical equipment, has been reviewed by multiple experts, adding credibility to the sighting. In 2023, Moscow residents heard a deep, unusual boom, followed by the appearance of a large black smoke ring in the sky. This perfectly circular ring, visible for miles and captured on many cameras, moved unusually. Scientists described it as a rare vortex ring, caused by atmospheric conditions, similar to one seen in England in 2014. However, some witnesses questioned this explanation, due to the strange sound and perfect shape. Social media sparked various theories, including secret military tests or extraterrestrial activity. Similar smoke rings have been reported worldwide, prompting curiosity about possible new technologies or atmospheric effects. Did you like this video? Don't forget to hit the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out, and I promise to bring you more awesome content. A disturbing video allegedly from a secret Russian facility shows what could change our understanding of extraterrestrial contact. The grainy, unauthorized footage depicts a person in medical scrubs wheeling a strange creature down a high-security corridor. The being has unnatural proportions, long limbs, and a large head. The calmness of the staff suggests handling alien life is routine, implying contact with extraterrestrials is already happening. The video appeared online without context or confirmation and vanished quickly after governments tried to remove it. Key questions remain. Where is this facility? What experiments are done? How long has this happened? And what became of the creature? The silence from officials speaks louder than any denial. Archaeological finds in Russia, especially near Chelyabinsk in Archaim, challenge our view of history. Scientists uncovered a 2,000-year-old woman's skeleton with a uniquely elongated, cone-shaped skull. Unlike typical examples of head binding, her skull shows no signs of artificial shaping, suggesting the elongation is natural. This has led to speculation about ancient extraterrestrial contact and possible interbreeding with humans. The Sarmati tribe, possibly her people, left artifacts showing beings with long heads, hinting these might represent real encounters. Archaim itself is mysterious, with advanced astronomy, metallurgy, and urban planning, raising questions about help from otherworldly visitors. Lake Baikal, the world's deepest freshwater lake, is known for unusual UFO-related reports. Its remote, pristine location may have drawn attention as a possible base for unexplained phenomena. In 2015, experienced fishermen reported seeing a strong blue-green light deep in the lake, different from natural glows. They recorded the pulsing, moving light, and experts reviewed the footage and found no signs of manipulation. Earlier, in 1982, Russian military divers claimed to have seen 9-foot-tall humanoid figures in silvery suits moving underwater with great speed and grace. These figures had no visible breathing gear and apparently forced the divers to surface quickly, causing decompression sickness for some. This incident was kept classified for years, but some divers have since shared their accounts. In 2017, Russian archaeologists uncovered a Bronze Age burial site dating back around 4,800 to 4,300 years. It held a man and woman gently positioned as if sharing a tender moment, with a baby's remains close by, creating a touching family tableau. Their careful arrangement hints at a timeless story of connection and remembrance. Inside the adult skulls, researchers found an unexpected material where natural decay would typically occur. This suggests involvement in special cultural or spiritual traditions, possibly linked to honoring the spirit, ancient healing practices, or meaningful ceremonies. The baby's presence invites reflection on whether its passing was from natural causes or part of these traditions. The family appears to have been together in their final rest, though many details remain a mystery. On February 15, 2013, in Chelyabinsk, Russia, a meteor about 20 meters wide entered the atmosphere at over 60,000 kilometers per hour. It created a fireball brighter than the sun, visible for hundreds of kilometers, with heat felt on the ground. At about 30 kilometers altitude, it exploded with a force estimated between 470 and 500 kilotons of TNT, around 30 times Hiroshima's atomic bomb. The shockwave damaged more than 7,000 buildings and shattered windows across the city. Nearly 1,500 people were injured, mostly from flying glass, but thankfully no deaths occurred. The explosion was recorded worldwide by seismographs and seen from space, highlighting Earth's vulnerability to cosmic events. In 2010, the Yukagir people discovered Yuka, a well-preserved woolly mammoth in Siberian permafrost, about 39,000 years old. Her complete body, fur, trunk, and internal organs were in exceptional condition. Her remains show evidence of human interaction, spear wounds that had begun to heal, suggesting she was hunted but survived the attack. This offers valuable insight into early hunting and mammoth resilience. Yuka's preserved DNA allows important scientific study, and some researchers have discussed the possibility of using such material in future cloning research. If cloning becomes feasible, it could influence how we think about extinct species, but these efforts are still experimental and not guaranteed. What mystery from Russia surprised you the most, and why do you think it remains unexplained? Share your thoughts. In 2018, near the Indigirka River in Siberia, researchers discovered Dogar, an 18,000-year-old puppy remarkably preserved with intact whiskers. Dogar looked so lifelike that scientists were amazed. His head was fully formed, nose black, and milk teeth visible. Using advanced DNA sequencing, scientists at Sweden's Center for Paleogenetics confirmed Dogar was male, but couldn't clearly classify his species. Whether he was a dog, a wolf, or something else remains unknown. This mystery is significant because Dogar lived when dogs and wolves were diverging from a common ancestor. His DNA holds clues to this evolutionary split, a story still difficult for scientists to fully interpret. Dogar's discovery challenges our understanding of evolution. If this well-preserved specimen and modern technology cannot define him, it suggests many transitional species may still be hidden in permafrost, waiting to reshape our knowledge. Some researchers think Dogar might be a previously unknown species or a missing link between wolves and domestic dogs. Others believe he could show multiple domestication events where humans formed bonds with different canine lineages. The facts remain uncertain, making Dogar's story both intriguing and important. A clear UFO was captured on camera over a Russian building in broad daylight. Unlike distant objects, this one was close and structured, defying natural explanation. The footage shows a cloud-like formation, but closer inspection reveals a distinct ring resembling a classic flying saucer. Its movement was purposeful and fast. Unlike natural clouds that drift slowly and change shape, the video quality is clear, allowing detailed analysis. The object's structure stayed consistent during the sighting. Experts found no signs of editing, and several witnesses saw it from different locations. The object hovered over populated areas, moving systematically at a steady altitude, suggesting possible surveillance rather than random passage. This behavior hints at reconnaissance, if the craft is extraterrestrial. Deep in the Russian wilderness lies a forest with trees twisted into spiral, corkscrew shapes that defy nature. Locals say mysterious forces bend reality here. Recently, footage showed a large, dark figure moving through the trees with incredible agility. The creature stood upright like a human but had unusual proportions. It moved gracefully, covering many steps in a single bound and navigating the difficult forest terrain effortlessly. The video is low quality, making details hard to see, but the creature fits descriptions of the legendary Bigfoot, or Almas in Russian folklore. Russian cryptozoologists believe Siberia's vast remote wilderness could hide unknown primates. Its harsh, unexplored areas make it an ideal refuge for such creatures, if they exist. Footage from a deep, unnamed Russian lake shows an unusual creature that puzzles marine biologists and interests cryptozoologists. The animal moves through the water with a long snake-like body and several tentacle-like appendages. These appendages move independently, probing the water as if sensing its surroundings. Its head rotates fully, providing a nearly 360-degree view, a rare ability among freshwater animals. This suggests the creature may have a distinctive awareness and intelligence. Experts reviewing the video say the creature does not match any known fish, amphibian, or reptile from Russian lakes. The tentacle-like limbs suggest either a cephalopod, which typically does not inhabit freshwater, or an unknown evolutionary form. Its movement shows exploration and curiosity, not just simple swimming. It interacts with objects and reacts to changes in its environment. Some scientists speculate it could be a prehistoric reptile, such as a plesiosaur, surviving underground or in isolated lakes. Others think it might be a new species evolved in remote Russian waters. Without capturing it, the creature's true identity remains unknown. Hidden beneath the Ural Mountains' peat bogs for over 11,000 years, the Shagir idol is the world's oldest known wooden sculpture. Discovered in the late 19th century, it stands over 9 feet tall and predates Stonehenge by more than 6,000 years. While ancient Egyptians were just starting to write, the creators of this idol had already developed complex artistic skills and symbolic language. The statue is covered in detailed carvings, haunting faces with different expressions and intricate geometric patterns. Some symbols may be proto-writing, a form of communication older than any known script. The craftsmanship reveals a Mesolithic society far more advanced than previously believed. Recent dating confirms the idol is at least 11,000 years old, older than the dawn of agriculture. This suggests hunter-gatherers were producing sophisticated art, and possibly recording complex information long before such developments were expected. The faces on the idol are mysterious and varied. Some look human, others almost otherworldly. They might represent different tribes, spiritual beings, gods, or encounters with unknown entities. The Shagir idol challenges what we know about ancient human civilization and its artistic and intellectual achievements. If you love uncovering the world's greatest mysteries, hit like and subscribe for more incredible discoveries every week. The eastern coast of Russia near Pakachi saw a strange marine discovery when locals found a massive, unknown creature washed ashore. It was not a whale or any familiar animal. The creature was huge, covered in tubular hair that looked prehistoric. The smell was very strong and rotten, making it hard to get close. Brave locals noticed features unlike any known sea animal, especially a distinct tail and a body unlike anything in marine biology books. The tubular hair resembled mammoth wool more than seal or whale fur. People were puzzled. Some thought it might be a woolly mammoth released from permafrost. Others guessed a prehistoric marine reptile, a survivor from ancient oceans. The creature was too heavy to move and too decomposed for detailed study. Photos and videos showed enough detail to rule out known species. Marine biologists said they had no idea what it was. Frustration grew when the creature disappeared before scientists could examine it closely. Whether tides washed it back to sea, or authorities took it, no one knows. Now, only photos and local accounts remain of this marine mystery. In 1996, Boris Kiprianovich, known as Boriska, was born in Russia and soon challenged ideas about human consciousness and reincarnation. By age 2, he showed remarkable abilities, drawing complex geometric shapes and understanding astronomy and physics far beyond his years. Boriska claimed he had lived before, not on Earth, but on Mars. He said he was a pilot on Mars, describing cities, advanced technology, transportation systems, and wars that destroyed the Martian atmosphere. His accounts were detailed, consistent, and specific, not childish fantasies. He spoke of interstellar travel and civilizations across planets, sharing knowledge he had never been taught. Experts found his understanding of astronomy, spacecraft, and science accurate and sometimes ahead of current science. Skeptics said Boriska's story was storytelling or influenced by science fiction. Yet those who met him struggled to explain how a child could keep such detailed, consistent memories over years. His knowledge seemed to come from beyond normal human experience. In the remote Siberian taiga, the Batagaika crater is a growing wound in the earth, known as the gateway to the underworld. Locals believe it is a portal to the realm of the dead. The crater is massive, over 300 meters wide and about 86 meters deep. It keeps expanding each year as rising temperatures melt the permafrost, causing the ground to collapse and swallow surrounding land. This crater reveals dramatic effects of climate change. The thawing permafrost exposes layers of Earth's history hidden for thousands of years. Scientists see it as a time machine, with walls showing records of past climates, forest fires, and ecosystem changes. These discoveries are reshaping our knowledge of Siberia's ancient forests, extinct animals, and climate history. Indigenous communities view the crater with fear and respect. They believe melting permafrost awakens ancient spirits and upsets the balance between life and death. The crater's eerie groaning sounds, caused by shifting Earth, echo across the land, a haunting sign of the planet's distress. In 1996, near a cemetery in the Russian town of Kishtaim, a local woman found a small mummified creature called a Lashinka that baffled investigators. It was only 10 inches long, hairless, with mottled brownish-gray skin, and a ridged skull that seemed non-human. Its large round eyes allowed nearly 360-degree vision. Strangely, it had no ears, nose, or navel. At first it was thought to be a deformed human fetus, but its bone structure and proportions were unlike any human, and the lack of a navel suggested it was never connected to a placenta. It hadn't developed through normal mammalian reproduction. The discovery near the Mayak nuclear facility, known for a major 1957 nuclear disaster, sparked speculation that radiation might have caused genetic mutations. However, when UFO investigators took the creature for study, it mysteriously disappeared. No official explanation or scientific analysis was ever released. The disappearance raised many questions. If Alashinka was merely a deformity, why the secrecy? Why remove it from study? The silence has fueled theories that it might be something far more significant than admitted. In Siberia, simple tragedies often mark the harsh environment more than ancient mysteries. The story of the frozen fox shows this brutal reality. A fox, seeking shelter during a harsh winter, stepped onto what looked like solid ice near a frozen pond. But Siberian ice can be deadly. The ice cracked, and the fox fell into the freezing water. The fox struggled to escape, clawing at the edges of the hole. Each attempt made the hole larger, but the cold water quickly lowered its body temperature. It fought valiantly, but could not escape. Its strength faded, and it died in the icy water. Later, a local found the scene. The fox had become a natural ice sculpture, frozen in its final moments. An attempt to rescue it with a chainsaw was too late. The fox was another victim of Siberia's unforgiving climate. This story reminds us that the same cold conditions that preserve ancient fossils also claim new victims. The permafrost creates a frozen museum of life and death, spanning thousands of years. Don't miss out on the next mind-blowing episode. Subscribe and ring the bell to get notified the moment it drops. On January 25, 2023, a TikTok video went viral, showing a statue claimed to be a fallen angel, allegedly discovered by miners near Zaya in Amur Oblast, Russia. The clip showed an eerie sculpture with a sword, shield, and large wings. The miners said the statue seemed to emit mysterious energy. However, the press secretary at the Elga coal complex clarified that the statue was found at the Elga coal mine in the Sakha Republic. Workers had found it abandoned in the camp and created a fictional story about it. Despite this, the statue continues to spark curiosity and discussions. In August 2020, a webcam monitoring a Russian beach captured footage of a bright orb hovering above the coastline. The object suddenly accelerated very quickly, disappearing into the atmosphere. The rapid acceleration appeared unusual, moving from stillness to high speed in seconds, leaving a visible trail. Frame-by-frame analysis showed consistent details, with the object maintaining luminosity and leaving a trail that suggested some form of propulsion. Independent analysts found no signs of digital manipulation, and lighting and shadows aligned with the environment. Experts agreed the footage was high quality, though its origin remains unexplained. The sighting took place on a populated beach with multiple potential witnesses. Since the video was recorded by a fixed webcam, many common variables affecting UFO footage were minimized. Our penultimate mystery takes us to the skies above Russia, where a motorist captured footage of a cloud formation that changed in unusual ways. The video starts with a typical cumulus cloud, but as it progresses, the cloud shifts shape, becoming more defined and symmetrical, resembling a flying saucer. The transformation appears deliberate, differing from normal cloud behavior caused by wind or pressure. The shape is remarkably precise, with defined edges and balanced proportions, uncommon in natural clouds. Some researchers have speculated that the phenomenon might be a type of cloaking technology. According to this theory, advanced craft could use camouflage that mimics clouds to avoid detection. If true, this footage might show a moment when such a system malfunctioned or was turned off. However, this remains unproven and is only one of several possible explanations. In 2017, southern Russia faced a devastating ecological disaster when an unprecedented locust swarm darkened the skies. Millions of these insects formed a living cloud that stretched across the horizon, filling the air with a terrifying buzz heard for kilometers. Farmers helplessly watched as their crops vanished in hours. Fields cultivated over months were stripped bare, leaving a landscape ravaged like a natural disaster. Authorities responded with aircraft spraying insecticides and ground crews using nets and other tools, but the swarm's size made control nearly impossible. The economic damage was massive, with entire harvests lost and millions of dollars in agricultural harm. The psychological toll on farming communities was also severe, as livelihoods disappeared in days. This event reminds us that nature's power can be more shocking and destructive than any mystery. At times, the raw force of the natural world captured on camera is enough to humble all human efforts to control it. From Siberia's frozen permafrost to the skies above Moscow, Russia holds mysteries that challenge our understanding. The 25 discoveries we've covered are just a glimpse of the many unexplained phenomena in this vast, unexplored land. Some mysteries may be solved with future science and technology. Others may remain forever unknown, reminding us that some secrets defy explanation. Whether ancient civilizations, possible extraterrestrial visits, or Earth's incredible life forms, Russia continues to surprise us with truths caught on camera that science has yet to explain. What do you think of these discoveries? Have you seen anything similar in your area? Share your thoughts below, and subscribe for more amazing mysteries from around the world. Until next time, keep watching the skies, and stay open to the impossible. A veteran state patrol pilot radioed a detective mid-flight because his camera locked onto an 8-foot biped striding through the Olympic Peninsula with a human body over its shoulder. What happens next will challenge everything you think you know about what lives in our deepest forests. Mike Anderson had spent 12 years flying search and rescue missions for the Washington State Patrol. During that time, he had become familiar with every kind of wildlife in the Olympic Peninsula forests. Bears, elk, mountain lions, and deer. But nothing he had seen before could have prepared him for what he was about to witness during what was supposed to be a routine training flight over the thick forest canopy. Below him, a massive dark shape was moving through the trees. It should not have existed. Yet from his position in the helicopter, Mike could clearly see it carrying what looked like a human body, moving faster than any animal that large should be able to move. The creature appeared to stand around 8 feet tall, its body covered in dark brown hair, striding through the rugged terrain with unnatural strength while holding what seemed without question to be a human form. Mike's hands trembled as he reached for the radio. "Base, this is Eagle 7. I need you to connect me with Detective Morrison right away." The dispatcher's voice came back confused. "Eagle 7, this is Base. Morrison's still assigned to the Davis case. What's your situation?" Mike's throat felt dry as he responded. Tom Davis had been missing for 8 months. 8 months of search parties, volunteer groups, and failed leads. The 28-year-old software engineer from Seattle had vanished during a solo hiking trip along the Hoax River Trail. Investigators had found his car parked at the trail entrance, and his first campsite had been discovered and left behind. But after that, there had been nothing. No trace, no clues, no body. Until now. "Base, I think I just found our missing hiker, but you're not going to believe how." Mike adjusted his position in the cockpit, angling the helicopter for a better view. The base had asked Mike to confirm whether he had found Davis. As his hands moved automatically over the helicopter controls, his mind raced. The creature below had turned its face toward the aircraft, and even from 300 feet up, Mike could tell it wasn't a bear. Its features were too human, yet primitive and wild. He radioed that he needed a search and rescue team at his coordinates immediately, and requested to be connected with Detective Morrison. The creature paused, studying the aircraft, then moved again. Mike had never seen anything move like it. It passed through dense forest as if the trees weren't there, stepping over fallen logs and ducking under branches with effortless precision. Its speed was unreal, covering 30 or 40 feet with each stride. Mike pushed the helicopter forward to keep up. The thick canopy made it hard to track, but its massive frame stood out through the gaps. His camera was rolling, recording every moment. "Eagle 7, this is Detective Morrison. What's your situation?" Mike knew Morrison from past missing person cases, sharp, skeptical, not one to believe wild stories. How could he explain this? Still, Mike reported that he was tracking a large creature carrying what appeared to be human remains about 12 miles northeast of the Hoax River Trail. He added that it matched no known species native to the region. Mike observed it moving around a steep ravine with clear intent and awareness, noting that this was not random animal behavior but something purposeful, as if it had a destination in mind. Morrison asked him to describe what he was witnessing. Mike explained that the creature was walking upright, roughly 8 feet tall, covered in brown hair, and carrying a human body dressed in hiking gear. It was moving through terrain that would slow down even an experienced hiker, yet it was doing so at a speed he could barely match from the air. The line went quiet long enough for Mike to think the connection was lost. Then Morrison's voice came back, carefully controlled. "Eagle 7, are you sure about what you're seeing?" "Detective, I'm certain. The camera's been recording since I spotted it. Whatever this thing is, it's not human, and it knows exactly where it's going." Mike's voice carried the weight of someone whose worldview was being fundamentally challenged by what he was witnessing. Below, the creature had reached a steep cliff. Mike expected it to turn back, but instead, it began to climb. It moved with the same fluid confidence it had shown in the forest, gripping the rock with hands and feet that seemed to find invisible holds. Mike reported to the base that the subject was scaling a near-vertical cliff, and that the search team would need technical rescue equipment. He steadied the helicopter against the wind bouncing off the rock face. The creature was already halfway up the 100-foot wall, still carrying what appeared to be a human body wrapped in some kind of covering. possibly a tarp or sleeping bag. Remembering that Tom Davis had owned a green sleeping bag, Mike noticed a faint green color in what the creature held. When asked about his fuel status, Mike checked his gauges and said he had about 40 minutes of flight time remaining but might lose visual contact soon. By the time he looked down again, the creature had reached the top and disappeared into another section of forest. Mike gained altitude, scanning the thick canopy, but the trees here were older and denser, making visibility nearly impossible. He soon caught sight of movement near a dark opening in the hillside, a cave. The creature had moved into a small clearing before the entrance and stopped. It carefully set the wrapped body on the ground and stepped back. Mike adjusted the altitude for a clearer view. Through his binoculars, he confirmed it. The body was inside a green sleeping bag identical to the one Davis had carried. But something didn't make sense. The creature's actions were not predatory. They were deliberate and calm, almost careful. It appeared to be arranging objects near the cave, though Mike couldn't see what they were. Mike then observed the creature gathering stones and placing them in a rough circle around the body. The behavior was unlike anything he had ever seen. He informed Detective Morrison that the creature seemed to be arranging stones in what looked like a ritual pattern. "Mike, record everything. This could be critical to a case." The word hit hard. He had been so focused on the creature that he had almost forgotten the human loss behind it. The creature stepped back and stood motionless for several minutes. Then it looked up at the helicopter and raised one massive arm. It wasn't a reaction of fear, it was acknowledgement. Moments later, the creature turned toward the cave. Before vanishing inside, it looked back one last time. Even from 300 feet, Mike could see a disturbingly human expression. Then it disappeared into the dark. Next, before clarifying the mystery of the newly discovered body that had suddenly disappeared, don't forget to ring the bell, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Mike circled the area, marking the coordinates and taking note of landmarks that would help the ground team locate the site. The clearing looked exactly as he'd left it. The stone circle remained visible, the wrapped body untouched. Mike informed Detective Morrison that there was no trace of the creature. When Morrison asked about a possible landing site, Mike explained that a meadow roughly a quarter-mile east could serve as a suitable spot, though he cautioned that returning to the area carried some risk if the creature appeared again. Morrison, drawing on 26 years of experience, acknowledged the uncertainty, but emphasized that after all his time in law enforcement, he had learned one thing above all: families deserved answers, regardless of how unusual those answers might be. Mike brought the helicopter down in the meadow. When the rotors stopped, the silence pressed in around them. The forest of the Olympic Peninsula was unnervingly still, broken only by the faint rustle of wind through the trees. They hiked toward the cliff, following Mike's GPS. The woods felt ancient and untouched, carrying a sense of quiet weight. They stepped into the clearing and froze. The stone circle was still there, but the wrapped body was gone. "Mike, are you certain this is the right location?" Morrison's question was professional, but Mike could hear the underlying tension. This was supposed to be a crime scene, and now the primary evidence had vanished. Mike double-checked his GPS and confirmed that they were in the same spot, pointing out that the stones were still arranged just as they had been in the video. Scanning the area nervously, Mike said that whatever had moved the body might still be nearby. The forest around them seemed to press closer, full of shadows and potential hiding places. Morrison examined the ground, noting impressions where something heavy had rested. He then found a torn piece of green fabric and showed it to Mike, who recognized it as part of a sleeping bag, the same color Tom Davis had carried. Following the procedure, Morrison sealed the fragment in an evidence bag and instructed Mike to document every detail of the clearing, the stones, the tracks, and any signs of disturbance. While Mike filmed, Morrison moved to inspect the cave entrance. From the ground, it was much larger than it had appeared from the air, at least 10 feet high and 15 wide. Suddenly, a deep resonant sound rolled through the forest, low and powerful, like a living horn. Both men froze. Mike quietly said they needed to leave immediately. They returned to the helicopter without incident, though Mike couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching them. More than once, he thought he saw movement in the trees, but every time he turned to look, the forest was silent. During the flight back to base, Mike's thoughts spun over what he had witnessed. His training told him to focus on facts, yet the meaning behind those facts was overwhelming. If the footage was real, it could redefine what people knew about the Olympic Peninsula and the creatures in its forests. More immediately, it might finally bring answers to Tom Davis's family after 8 long months. The footage review took place in the base communications room, a secure site for analyzing sensitive evidence. Detective Morrison had come from Port Angeles to review it personally, aware that what they were about to see could be the most significant case of his career. Mike had seen it happen live, but watching the playback made it feel even more unreal. The creature's size, speed, and deliberate behavior were undeniable. Its movement through the forest, its precision, and the careful arrangement of stones around the body all suggested intelligence beyond any known animal. Morrison asked whether the footage could be a hoax, possibly someone in a costume. The question was expected, as the extraordinary nature of the evidence required ruling out every other explanation. But the creature's movements through the terrain, its strength in carrying a heavy body, and its ability to scale a cliff so quickly were beyond human capability. Every frame they studied made deception less likely. The creature's fluid motion, its interaction with the environment, and the physical force it displayed were far beyond anything that could be staged or fabricated. Morrison replayed several segments in silence, examining them closely for inconsistencies before asking the technical team to enhance the clothing visible on the body. When the image was refined, the details became clear. A green sleeping bag, blue jeans, and hiking boots, all matching Tom Davis's reported gear. The clothing appeared worn and dirty, consistent with long exposure to the elements. After a pause, Morrison told Mike that he needed to be flown back to the site immediately, since the ground team would not arrive before dark. His determination reflected both his sense of duty and his compassion, even in the face of something that defied all logic. The return flight to the coordinates took place in late afternoon as shadows stretched across the forest canopy. From above, everything looked calm, giving no hint of the strange events that had unfolded earlier. Mike radioed base to report that Eagle 7 was returning to the previous coordinates for a follow-up investigation. Though his message sounded routine, both men in the helicopter understood they were heading into uncertain territory. The creature's behavior earlier had shown a level of awareness that suggested it might even anticipate their return. Moments later, Mike spotted movement below. Something large was moving between the trees, walking slowly along a narrow trail instead of fleeing. Mike tracked the creature as it moved carefully through the dense forest. This time, it wasn't carrying anything. Its movements seemed measured, almost curious, as if it were investigating the earlier disturbance. The creature entered another clearing, this one dominated by a fallen tree. Through his binoculars, Mike froze at what he saw next, a small figure sitting beside the log. Below, a young boy sat motionless, wearing a bright red jacket that stood out against the greens and browns. He looked frightened but unharmed. The creature approached the child slowly, its movements calm and deliberate. There was no aggression. It appeared protective, almost gentle. He immediately reported to base that he had visual contact with a missing child who appeared alive and safe. The dispatcher confirmed that search teams were already in the area looking for 9-year-old Timothy Chen, who had been missing since the previous afternoon. Mike watched in disbelief as the creature lifted the boy carefully and began walking toward the direction of the search teams. It wasn't taking the child, it was bringing him back. At the edge of the clearing near the rescue lights, the creature gently set the boy down, then slipped back into the forest. The search teams reached the child minutes later. Timothy told them a big furry man had found him after dark, kept him warm, and carried him toward the lights. The contrast between the two encounters was striking. One involved a possible burial ritual, the other a rescue. The creature's actions revealed intelligence and empathy far beyond what anyone expected. Mike flew the boy and a medic back to base, where the child was reunited with his relieved parents. The official report stated that the boy's survival was due to luck and the persistence of the search teams, with no mention of the creature that had actually saved him. The authorities, bound by established procedure, had no way to acknowledge something that defied scientific explanation. Later that night, Mike met Detective Morrison at a diner in Port Angeles. Under the harsh fluorescent lights, the two men spoke in low voices about events that seemed beyond human understanding. The coffee between them grew cold, forgotten. Morrison told Mike that what he had witnessed, along with what had happened to Tom Davis, challenged their understanding of intelligence and behavior in unknown species. Mike replied that the creature had saved the boy, explaining that it hadn't needed to help but had chosen to keep him warm and lead rescuers to him. Morrison agreed that such behavior showed moral reasoning, but asked why, if that were true, the creature had not saved Tom Davis. The question lingered with Mike, as the evidence suggested that the same type of being was involved in both incidents. Though the outcomes were completely different, one ending in death and a burial ritual, the other in a rescue, Mike suggested that perhaps Davis had already been dead when the creature found him, and that it might have been trying to bury him with respect. Morrison considered this, but proposed that there might be more than one creature, and that they might not all act the same way. The possibility unsettled Mike. If multiple creatures existed, they could have territories, instincts and personalities of their own, some protective, others hostile. The forest suddenly seemed more complex and more dangerous than before. Mike then asked what they were supposed to do with what they knew, since the footage was classified and they were forbidden to speak about it. Morrison replied that sometimes the truth caused more harm than ignorance, warning that if word spread, the forest would be overrun with hunters and thrill-seekers, and the creatures deserved to be left in peace. His words reflected a weary understanding of human nature. Fear and greed, he said, would destroy what had remained hidden for centuries. Over the following year, Mike continued his rescue flights, but the wilderness no longer felt the same. He knew now that humans were not alone in those mountains. The footage of the creature carrying Tom Davis's body was locked away, but the memory stayed with him. Sometimes, while flying over the endless forest, he thought he saw faint movements in the trees below, brief and silent, enough to remind him that the wilderness still guarded mysteries far beyond human comprehension. The more Mike thought about his encounters, the more he began to understand that these creatures represented something far more significant than just another unknown species. Their behavior suggested not just intelligence, but wisdom. The way they interacted with their environment, their apparent understanding of human nature, their complex moral reasoning, all pointed to a form of consciousness that had been developing for far longer than human civilization. The Olympic Peninsula had been home to indigenous peoples for thousands of years before European settlement. Their legends spoke of giant forest dwellers, beings that were neither fully human nor fully animal. These stories had been dismissed by modern science as mythology, but Mike now understood that they might have been accurate historical accounts passed down through generations. The creatures he'd encountered weren't just animals that had learned to walk upright. They were the remnants of an ancient intelligence that had shared this continent with humans for millennia. They had watched the rise and fall of civilizations, adapted to changing environments, and developed their own culture and traditions in the deep places where humans rarely ventured. This realization brought with it a profound sense of responsibility. Mike and the others who had witnessed these encounters were among the first modern humans to document the existence of beings that represented a parallel evolution of intelligence on Earth. The decisions they made about how to handle this knowledge would determine the future relationship between the two species. The creatures had demonstrated both the capacity for violence and the wisdom to choose restraint. They could have easily killed the humans who had intruded into their territory, but instead they had chosen communication and protection. This suggested a moral framework that valued life and sought coexistence rather than conflict. But Mike also understood that this peaceful coexistence depended on maintaining the boundaries that had allowed both species to share the forest for so long. The creatures remained hidden, not out of fear but out of wisdom. They understood that exposure to the modern world would bring destruction to their way of life and possibly to their species itself. As Mike approached retirement after decades of flying over the Pacific Northwest forests, he reflected on the extraordinary privilege of his experiences. He had been witness to one of the most significant discoveries in human history, evidence of intelligence and consciousness that existed parallel to human civilization. The knowledge had changed him profoundly, giving him a perspective on humanity's place in the natural world that few people could understand. Mike had become a guardian of secrets that were too important to reveal and too dangerous to ignore. The footage he had recorded would remain classified, but the knowledge it represented would continue to influence how a select few humans understood their relationship with the natural world. The creatures would remain hidden, but their presence would continue to shape the decisions of those who knew they existed. The mystery of Tom Davis's death remained officially unsolved, but Mike knew the truth was more complicated than any official report could capture. In a forest where ancient intelligence still moved through shadows, the line between victim and honored dead, between predator and protector, was as mysterious as the creatures themselves. As Mike flew his final missions over the Olympic Peninsula before retirement, he carried with him the weight of witnessing something that challenged the boundaries of the known world. The Olympic Peninsula forests continued to hold their secrets, vast and wild territories, where intelligence older than human civilization moved through shadows and watched the changing world with patient eyes. The mystery endured, protected by those who understood that some truths were too important to reveal and too dangerous to ignore. If you found this account as compelling as I did when I first learned about it, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more documented encounters with the unknown. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let me know if you've had your own encounters in the deep forests of the Pacific Northwest. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
And I was walking back, and I saw like this blue light in the sky, and I was like, that's kind of bright to be a star. I've never seen a blue star that bright.
Some of the most convincing UFO evidence isn't locked away in top-secret archives. It's been caught on camera for the whole world to see. In today's video, we'll explore 25 of the most fascinating UFO encounters, from cases involving multiple eyewitnesses, radar confirmation, and even government acknowledgement. Let's dive into. In April 2013, at Rafael Hernandez Airport, located in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico, a video was taken of an unknown object swiftly flying over land and then seemingly submerging underwater. After doing so multiple times, the object appears to split in two. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security tried to keep this footage classified, but an anonymous whistleblower leaked it to the Scientific Coalition for Ufology. When the SCU analyzed the video, they concluded that it exhibits characteristics that cannot be explained by any known aircraft or natural phenomenon. The object's ability to transition seamlessly between air and water, combined with its splitting behavior, represents technology far beyond our current capabilities. Next, explore the scene of three bright lights forming a perfect triangle in the night sky. In November 2021, a passenger on a train speeding through the Italian countryside noticed something strange outside his window and began recording. Three orange lights arranged in a perfect triangular formation hover above the horizon, glowing with an intensity that immediately catches his attention. Zooming in, the lights appear to be glowing orbs. The footage was later uploaded to social media, where it quickly went viral. Ever since the Roswell UFO incident in 1947, New Mexico has maintained its reputation as a hotspot for alleged alien activity. Almost exactly 10 years after Roswell, on October 16, 1957, nurse Ella Louise Fortune was driving down Highway 54 when she witnessed something that would add another chapter to New Mexico's UFO legacy. The object was said to have hovered near the Holloman Air Development Center, now Holloman Air Force Base, for about 15 minutes. That said, the fact that this occurred near an Air Force base might provide a more conventional explanation. Even after the Aerial Phenomena Research Organization examined the photograph, no conclusive explanation was reached. And now, another mystery was unfolding, where a young boy's camera captured something that no one could explain. On November 11, 1973, in the quiet village of Perstorp, Sweden, 14-year-old Åke Lejon set out with his niece's Instamatic camera to explore the countryside. During his walk, something unusual caught his attention in the sky, and Åke managed to capture one of them on film. Across several photographs, a small black object can be seen moving slowly through the air. Åke later described it as like a loaf of bread, but with more pronounced edges, noting a dark spot on top and a shape that seemed to flatten as it turned. The main body appeared steel gray, with a subtle yellow glow beneath it. Then, in a surprising moment, a triangular object seemed to separate from the larger form, speeding away in an arched path beneath it and moving in the opposite direction. Åke recalled that this smaller craft was silver white and gave off a gentle, radiant glow. In March 2017, near Huatusco, Veracruz, Mexico, explorer Jose Aguayo and his team claimed to have discovered a triangular jade artifact bearing unusual carvings. On one side, the engraving appears to depict a Maya ruler wearing a traditional headdress, while the other side shows a humanoid figure with large eyes, resembling modern depictions of extraterrestrial beings. The two figures appear to be engaged in some form of exchange or communication, and above them hovers a craft that looks remarkably similar to contemporary UFO descriptions. This artifact raises profound questions about ancient civilizations and their possible encounters with non-human intelligence. Did you like this video? Don't forget to hit the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out, and I promise to bring you more awesome content. Back in 2009, a WSAZ-TV news helicopter was filming a segment near the Mountaineer Power Plant in New Haven, West Virginia. During the aerial coverage, the camera captured something unexpected: 4 glowing orbs hovering close to the plant's stacks. These objects moved with remarkable speed and precision, almost as if they were conducting some form of systematic scanning or observation of the power plant's operations. The footage later drew attention online, with viewers debating whether the lights were reflections, aircraft, or something more mysterious. Between 2007 and 2009, a Turkish night watchman named Yalçın Yalman, working at a seaside complex in Kumburgaz, a district of Istanbul, Turkey, reported seeing unusual objects in the sky and began filming them. Over the following years, he captured multiple videos showing metallic disc-shaped objects hovering above the Sea of Marmara. The footage became one of the most discussed UFO cases in Turkey, with some viewers claiming that close-up frames reveal 2 humanoid figures inside what looks like a cockpit or window. While many researchers believe the images are optical illusions or reflections, others see them as compelling evidence of something unexplained. In 2015, residents of a Bakersfield, California neighborhood reported seeing a mysterious blue light in the night sky. Several witnesses said the light was moving, and one resident even captured the phenomenon on video. Some neighbors claimed they had seen the same blue light on earlier occasions. The flash and motion of the object drew widespread attention, leaving many to wonder what was happening above them. A Kern County Sheriff's Office spokesperson later suggested it could have been an RC aircraft or drone, but witnesses disagreed, insisting the light moved in ways unlike any known aircraft. Whatever it was, it remained unexplained, leaving locals both curious and amazed. Do you think the mysterious blue light over Bakersfield was just a drone, or something truly unexplained? Let's discuss in the comments section. In 2016, a video surfaced on YouTube that appeared to show an unidentified object entering Earth's atmosphere, captured from NASA's live feed of the International Space Station. Shortly after the object appeared, the feed was cut off, prompting speculation online. NASA later stated that the interruption was due to a temporary loss of signal, a routine issue with the high-definition Earth viewing experiment, and that the object was likely space debris, a reflection, or city lights from Earth. Later, another clip from the same live stream circulated online, showing what viewers claimed looked like a similar object moving away from Earth, followed by a bright golden light. These incidents fueled further debate among UFO enthusiasts. And in 2020, another ISS live feed captured a small, fast-moving object crossing Earth's horizon, which NASA identified as a retired communications component being jettisoned from the station. Either way, interest in the ISS feed continues, with many keeping a close eye on what appears in orbit. It's July 2019, roughly 100 miles off the coast of California. Several U.S. Navy warships, including the USS Russell, DDG-59, were conducting training exercises when, according to their logs, they were approached by unidentified aerial phenomena, described as unmanned aerial vehicles of unknown origin. The story came to light in April 2021, when reporters uncovered official documents and filmmaker Jeremy Corbell released night vision footage, reportedly recorded aboard the USS Russell. The video shows 3 glowing objects flying overhead in formation, with one of them blinking intermittently. The U.S. Department of Defense later confirmed the footage as authentic, though officials stated that the objects remain unidentified. When slowed down and enhanced, the lights appear triangular or pyramid-shaped, which drew attention because triangular UFO reports have been increasingly common since the mid-1970s, becoming especially widespread through the late 1980s and early 1990s. Pyramids have always fascinated people around the world, but some claims take that mystery to new heights. In a video that surfaced online in 2018, viewers noticed what appeared to be a pyramid-shaped object hovering over Cairo, Egypt. The footage quickly gained attention, with many suggesting it might show a UFO resembling a flying pyramid. Skeptics, however, pointed out that the effect could be due to camera reflections, lens flares, or atmospheric distortions, rather than anything extraordinary. Still, the video sparked plenty of discussion about the long-standing connection some believe exists between ancient monuments and unexplained aerial phenomena. Since 2020, the US government has taken notable steps toward greater transparency in its investigations of unidentified aerial phenomena. During a May 2022 congressional hearing, officials discussed several military encounters with unknown objects, including a US Navy pilot's 2021 video that showed a small, fast-moving object with no visible means of propulsion. According to the hearing, the pilot had been alerted to unusual radar activity before visually spotting and recording the object. The footage, later analyzed on the History Channel's series The Proof Is Out There, left aviation experts puzzled, as it did not match the characteristics of any known aircraft or drone. As of now, what that object truly was remains unexplained. Do you believe the US Navy pilot actually captured something not of this world in that 2021 video? Let me know if you think yes, like me. An online claim once made waves among UFO enthusiasts after an explorer in Antarctica reportedly came across what appeared to be a disc-shaped object embedded in the ice. At first glance, the object looked abandoned, leading some to speculate it could be a crashed craft. However, experts later pointed out that the images likely showed a natural ice formation or rocky outcrop, with lighting and shadows giving the illusion of a circular shape. Still, the video sparked ongoing debate and renewed fascination with the idea that Antarctica might still conceal unexplored mysteries beneath its frozen surface. Number 14. The Battle of Los Angeles. In February 1942, just 3 months after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, after reports of a possible enemy air raid sirens sounded across Los Angeles County, and the city was ordered into blackout conditions. Throughout the night, over 1,400 anti-aircraft shells were fired into the sky. Although the event was later determined to be a false alarm, the Los Angeles Times published a striking photograph showing searchlights converging on an unidentified object in the sky. While the photo was retouched for print clarity, it later became a centerpiece for UFO speculation. The event, famously dubbed the Battle of Los Angeles, even inspired the 2011 science fiction film Battle Los Angeles. In late November 1989, Belgium began receiving numerous reports of unidentified flying objects. Witnesses consistently described a large, triangular craft with a flat underside and bright lights at each corner. The sightings continued into early 1990, reaching a peak on the night of March 30–31, 1990, when Belgian radar operators detected unknown targets and scrambled 2 F-16 fighter jets to investigate. Although the pilots tracked anomalies on radar, they were unable to visually confirm any object in the sky. Nevertheless, more than 140 civilian witnesses reported seeing a triangular craft that night. For over 2 decades, the Belgian UFO research group SOBEPS maintained that the evidence supported a genuine unknown phenomenon. However, in 2011, the individual behind the famous Petit Chrétien photograph, once touted as the clearest image of the Belgian UFO, admitted it was a hoax created using a model and light bulbs. Belgian skeptic and writer Mark Hallett later argued that the Belgian UFO wave was the result of media influence and widespread misinterpretation, rather than extraterrestrial activity. While flying over Colombia at an altitude of about 30,000 feet, a pilot noticed something unusual in the sky, and it wasn't another aircraft. A metallic-looking object, seemingly polyhedral or cube-shaped, passed by in a straight line. The pilot captured the encounter on video in February 2020, and the footage appears to show a shiny cube-like object moving steadily above the clouds. When zoomed in, the object's reflective surface becomes more apparent, sparking debate about its origin. Some suggested it could have been a solar balloon, which can ascend as the air inside warms and expands, but experts noted that the object's speed and trajectory made that explanation unlikely. As a result, many considered it a genuine unidentified aerial phenomenon. The case was later featured on the History Channel series, The Proof Is Out There, where analysts reviewed the footage and discussed possible explanations. Do you think the metallic cube-shaped object the pilot filmed over Colombia was an actual UFO? Have you ever seen a UFO appear? Have you ever seen a UFO appear? Near Big Bear Lake, California, residents once reported seeing unusual lights in the night sky over several days. Intrigued, a small group decided to observe the phenomenon more closely and reportedly brought a laser pointer to test whether the lights would respond. In one widely circulated video, the beam appears to reflect off a disc-shaped object hovering in the distance, a scene that quickly drew online attention for its uncanny, almost cinematic quality. Moments later, the object seemed to make a sharp maneuver before vanishing from view, leaving witnesses astonished and viewers debating what they had just seen. While no official explanation was ever confirmed, skeptics suggested the lights could have been drones, aircraft, or optical reflections, rather than anything out of this world. A webcam monitoring the Popocatépetl volcano near Mexico City captured something unusual in 2017. In the footage, a bright orb of light appears ascending into the night sky. As it moves closer to the camera, the light suddenly flares and then continues rising into the atmosphere. Experts suggested the glow was most likely the landing lights of an aircraft, distorted by distance and camera exposure. However, another video recorded near Popocatépetl, or El Popo, as locals call it, showed multiple glowing orbs appearing around the volcano, and that one has proven more difficult to explain. On the History Channel's series The Proof Is Out There, an astronomer and a visual effects specialist analyzed the footage but couldn't reach a definitive conclusion. The Black Knight satellite remains one of the most enduring legends in UFO lore. According to the story, this mysterious object has been orbiting Earth for around 13,000 years. In 1954, UFO researcher Donald Keyhoe reportedly claimed that the U.S. Air Force had detected 2 artificial satellites orbiting Earth. A puzzling claim, since no such technology existed at the time. Humanity would not launch its first artificial satellite, Sputnik 1, until The story gained traction when newspapers such as the St. Louis Post-Dispatch and the San Francisco Examiner published articles referencing unidentified satellites. Interest in the Black Knight resurfaced in 1998, when NASA's STS-88 Space Shuttle Endeavour mission released photographs showing a dark, irregularly shaped object floating in orbit. While NASA explained it as thermal insulation debris that had come loose during the mission, many enthusiasts continue to believe it could be evidence of an ancient extraterrestrial satellite. In May 1950, Evelyn Trent noticed a strange, metallic-looking object hovering near her family's farm in McMinnville, Oregon. She called for her husband, Paul Trent, who quickly retrieved his camera and captured 2 photographs before the object moved away toward the northwest. In one account, Evelyn spotted the object first. In another, the couple saw it together in their backyard. The Trents' photographs were later published in Life magazine and numerous other outlets, sparking one of the most famous debates in UFO history. Physicist Bruce Maccabee, who analyzed the negatives decades later, concluded that the object was real and physical. Skeptics such as Philip J. Klass and Robert Schieffer, however, argued that the images were hoaxed, possibly showing a small model or object suspended by a string. The Condon Committee's 1968 investigation deemed the photos inconclusive. It's November 2014, and a Chilean Navy helicopter is conducting a routine daytime patrol along the coast west of Santiago. The crew is testing a forward-looking infrared camera when something unusual catches the technician's eye. Pointing the camera toward the object, he records 2 large, overlapping heat signatures moving steadily across the sky, appearing to travel together, possibly even connected. In 2010, a woman was out with her family enjoying the day at the El Yeso Reservoir, located high in the Andes Mountains of Chile, southeast of Santiago. While taking photos of the landscape, one image stood out. The picture shows the sun shining through bright white clouds, and above it, within a reddish band of clouds, appears a disc-shaped object partially obscured by the mist. After returning home and reviewing the photos, she noticed the unusual form and submitted the image to the Comité de Estudios de Fenómenos Aéreos Anómalos, the Chilean government's official UAP investigation agency. CEFAI forwarded the case to the National Aviation Reporting Center on Anomalous Phenomena for further analysis. Ted Rowe, NRCAP's executive director, studied the image and concluded that the object qualified as an unidentified aerial phenomenon. Nevada's reputation as a center for classified military research and UFO activity received additional confirmation when a commercial airline passenger captured footage of multiple objects moving in formation across the state's airspace. In the distance, several bright lights appeared, moving in perfect formation. To the passenger, it looked like a fleet of unidentified objects gliding across the sky, their direction seemingly leading toward Nevada. While some online viewers speculated that the lights might be UFOs, Aviation experts later suggested more ordinary explanations, such as aircraft flying in formation, reflections on the cabin window, or Starlink satellites passing overhead. Even so, the mysterious sight left the witness and thousands of viewers deeply curious about what might really be moving through our skies. When a restoration project in Florence uncovered rooms believed to have been used by Leonardo da Vinci, it fascinated historians and art experts alike. His surviving notebooks revealed detailed sketches of inventions far ahead of their time, designs resembling helicopters, tanks, and other mechanical innovations. These ideas showed Leonardo's extraordinary imagination and deep understanding of engineering centuries before such technology existed. While some speculative writers have suggested that Leonardo might have been inspired by otherworldly sources, mainstream historians attribute his genius to keen observation, scientific curiosity, and artistic brilliance. The notion that he was in contact with extraterrestrials remains a modern myth promoted by ancient astronaut theories, not by credible historical evidence. In 2009, Japan experienced a moderate earthquake, but some online videos later claimed that unidentified lights had been seen in the sky the night before, reportedly near a restricted military area. The footage showed bright, hovering orbs that appeared to move in formation before fading from view. While the videos drew attention for their unusual timing, experts have pointed out that the lights were likely aircraft, atmospheric phenomena, or reflections, rather than anything extraordinary. The coincidence between the lights and the earthquake led to speculation online about a possible connection, though no scientific evidence supports a link between UFO sightings and seismic activity. What do you think? Have these cases changed your perspective on the possibility of extraterrestrial visitation? Which piece of evidence did you find most compelling? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more investigations into the mysteries that surround us every day. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into unexplained phenomena, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our latest investigations into the mysteries that continue to puzzle scientists, governments, and researchers worldwide.
Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.
Today we're being told tourists and National Trust rangers saw the legendary fin disappear into a magical doorway within the rock face here at the Giant's Causeway.
Many mysterious and unexplained phenomena are happening around the world, almost too strange to believe. And when you have a drone that can capture every moment while keeping you completely safe, so what secrets lie hidden beneath the forest canopy that only a drone can uncover? Today, let's take a look at the 20 creepiest photos ever accidentally captured while flying over forests. Let's get started. This footage from Farmington Canyon, Utah, shows a